The symbolism of sunflowers. Today we're going to talk about the meaning and symbolism of sunflowers. But before we do, it's important to know a little history and a few facts first. Sunflowers are made up of 70 different species of tall flowering plants in the daisy family. If you want to see the technical terms, here they are. Sunflowers are usually tall plants that can grow to be more than 120 inches in height. Sunflowers have round flowering heads that come in a variety of colors, such as red, orange, and purple. But the most common is yellow. Their bright yellow flower is actually made up of many tiny flowers, and this forms one large flower to attract bees and other pollinators. And with their large, beautiful yellow petals that look like the sun, we can understand how they came to be known as sunflowers. Before blooming, as they grow, sunflower plants tilt to face the sun in order to gain more sunlight. This continues while the plant blooms. And young sunflower heads can be seen tracking the sun. Sunflowers are excellent flowers to have in your garden because they attract beneficial insects, including pollinators and parasitoids who reduce the pest population that can be harmful to other plants nearby. Sunflowers originated in the Americas and were first domesticated in what is now Mexico and the southern United States. Native Americans domesticated and grew sunflowers as a crop about 3,000 to 5,000 years ago for their edible seeds. In the late 16th century, they made their way into Europe where they grew sunflowers on an industrial scale. Sunflowers symbolize happiness, optimism, honesty, longevity, peace, admiration, and devotion. Like I pointed out earlier, sunflowers come in a variety of colors, but yellow is the most common. Yellow is a color that represents happiness and joy. And because the sunflower resembles the sun, various faiths dating back to ancient times see the sunflower as a symbol of adoration, devotion, and faithfulness. Since sunflowers turn their flowering heads towards the sun as they are growing, they represent optimism because they quite literally look to the bright side of life. Likewise, shedding light on a matter is an aspect of truth and honesty. And sunflowers not only turn towards the sun, but they're also a beautiful representation of the sun with their similar look. So it's said that sunflowers represent truth and honesty because they have these traits. In contrast, lies and deception would be the opposite because lies lurk in the shadow and depend on the darkness to hide the truth. And because sunflowers are such hardy plants, they also represent longevity. They have an extensive root system, and this makes them tolerant to drought. They also represent peace, for a reason which is quite ironic today. Let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was an empire that broke apart into smaller countries. Of the smaller countries, there is one whose national flower is a sunflower. They signed an agreement with the country whose flag contains a hammer and a sickle. The sunflower country promised to disarm themselves in the name of peace, and the sickle country agreed to maintain that peace. But many years later, the sickle country decided to attack the sunflower country, and they broke their promise. The story doesn't have an ending yet. It's a tragic and heartbreaking story. But it's because of the sunflower country's commitment to peace that the sunflower became a symbol of peace itself.